press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello students, welcome to part 1 of the new chapter, Electrochemistry. So this topic is also very important for board as well as competitive exams. So in this topic, the contents involved in this topic are cells and behavior of electrolytes, and then galvanic cells, voltaic cells, standard hydrogen electrodes, electrochemical series, phenomenon of corrosion, and in addition to this, some more important terms, the molar conductivity, electrolytic conductivity, and the conversion of electrical energy into chemical energy and chemical energy to electrical energy. So what is meant by electrochemistry? So it is the branch of physical chemistry which deals with the behavior of electrolytes, in aqueous solutions, and also the interconversion of chemical and electrical energy. Interconversion of chemical and electrical energy. How is the chemical energy is converted into electrical energy and electrical energy is converted into chemical energy? It is the branch of physical chemistry which deals with the study of behavior of electrolytes in aqueous solutions and also the interconversion of chemical energy and electrical energies. In between these two, how is chemical energy converted into electrical energy and electrical energy converted back into the chemical energy? Is clear? In this topic, we study the production of electricity from energy released during spontaneous chemical reactions. So we know that, so what is meant by a spontaneous reaction? A reaction which occurs on its own. The reaction which occurs by itself. ಯಾವ ಒಂದು ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ತಾನಾಗಿ ನಡೀತದೋ, ಯಾವ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟರ್ನಲ್ ಏಜೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಬೇಕಿರಲ್ಲ, which occurs on its own, which occurs without the help of any external agents. Such type of reactions are called spontaneous chemical reactions. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಈ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ತಾನಾಗಿ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ some amount of energy is released. So because chemical bond formation is accompanied by the release of energy. So that is why energy released in spontaneous chemical reaction, that is converted into electrical energy. The production of electricity from energy liberated during spontaneous chemical reaction and use of electrical energy. So use of electrical energy to carry out non-spontaneous chemical transformation. Non-spontaneous chemical transformation. ನೋಡಿ, ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ. ಸ್ಪಾಂಟೇನಿಯಸ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ವಿಚ್ ಅಕರ್ಸ್ ಆನ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಓನ್, ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ವಿಚ್ ಅಕರ್ಸ್ ಬೈ ಇಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್, ಸ್ವಯಂ ಪ್ರೇರಿತ ತಂತಾನಾಗಿ ನಡೀತದೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಎನರ್ಜಿಯನ್ನ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕಲ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿಯಾಗಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಇನ್ ಸಮ್ ಅದರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ದಿ ಎನರ್ಜಿ, ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಯುಟಿಲೈಸ್ಡ್ in the from the spontaneous chemical reactions, and the use of electrical energy to carry out non-spontaneous chemical transformation. Non-spontaneous chemical transfer. ಈಗ ಒಂದು ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ನಡೆಯೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲವು ತಂತಾನೆಗೆ ಸ್ವಯಂ ಪ್ರೇರಿತವಾಗಿ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ತವೆ, ಇನ್ನು ಕೆಲವಕ್ಕೆ ನೀವು ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಸಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು, ಅಥವಾ ನೀವು ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು, ಅಥವಾ ಕೆಟಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು, ಅಥವಾ ಹೈ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು, ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆರಿಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ತಂತಾನಾಗೆ ನಡೆಯಲ್ವೋ, ದ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ವಿಚ್ ಡಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಅಕರ್ಸ್ ಆನ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಓನ್, ದೇ ಆರ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ನಾನ್ ಸ್ಪಾಂಟೇನಿಯಸ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್. ಸೊ electrical energy that can also be utilized for carrying out non-spontaneous chemical transformations. Then chemical change involves the production or consumption of electricity, involves the chemical change. ನೋಡಿ, ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ, ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ದಿ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಆರ್ ಕನ್ಸಂಪ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಸಿಟಿ. such type of reactions or then such type of changes, they are called electrochemical changes. They are called electrochemical change. Electrochemical change. Production or consumption of energy in a chemical change, that is electrochemical change. Or in other words, chemical change involves the production or consumption of electricity, that is called electrochemical change. So it involves production or consumption of electricity, that is called electrochemical change. What is meant by electrochemical change ಅಂದರೆ, then what is meant by electrochemical cells ಅಂತ ಬರ್ತದೆ. what is meant by electrochemical cells? ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕಟ್ಕೊಡ್ರಿ. ಎನರ್ಜಿ ರಿಲೀಸ್ಡ್ in case of spontaneous chemical reactions, that is converted into electrical energy, and use of electrical energy to carry out non-spontaneous chemical transformations. Chemical change involves the production or consumption of electricity. The chemical change involves the production or consumption of electricity, that is called electrochemical change. Similarly, the production or consumption of electricity through chemical reactions is done in case of cells. They are called electrochemical cells. So what are electrochemical cells? The production or consumption of electricity through chemical reactions in cells are called electrochemical cells. They are called electrochemical cells. So what are electrochemical cells? Nodi, production or consumption of electricity through chemical reaction is done in cells. Such type of cells are called electrochemical cells. So what are electrochemical cells and that? Production or consumption of electricity through chemical reactions is done in cells. Such type of cells are called electrochemical cells. So there are two types of electrochemical cells. Electricity, production or consumption of electricity. In case of chemical reactions, that can be done by using a device called a cell, then that is called electrochemical cell. Electrochemical cell. Is clear? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಮಾರ್ಕಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕಟ್ಕೊಳ್ರಿ. So what is meant by electrochemistry? It is the branch of physical chemistry which deals with the study of behavior of electrolytes in aqueous solutions and also the interconversion of chemical and electrical energies. So in electrochemistry, we study the production of electricity from energy obtained from or liberated from spontaneous chemical reactions, and electrical energy can be utilized to carrying out some non-spontaneous chemical transformations. In general, the chemical change involves either the production or consumption of electricity. Then that phenomenon is electrochemical change. The production or consumption of electricity through the chemical reactions, this can be done by using a cells called electrochemical cells. So what are electrochemical cells? Is it clear? See points correct artha madkondralla. Production or consumption of electricity. So nodili observe madbidre. Production or consumption of electricity. Production or consumption of electricity through chemical reactions is done in cells called electrochemical cells. So this is very important. So what is meant by electrochemical change? Chemical change involves the production or consumption of electricity. That is called the electrochemical change. Then what is meant by electrochemical cell? The consumption or production of electricity. Consumption or production of electricity through the chemical reactions that can be done in cells called electrochemical cells. So there are two types of electrochemical cells. Electrochemical cells. So these are of two types. So one is galvanic cell or voltaic cell. Galvanic cell, these are also called voltaic cells, and other one is electrolytic cells. Galvanic cells and electrolytic cells. So what is meant by a galvanic or voltaic cell? The cell, so what is meant by a cell? Cell, it is also called a battery. The cells are batteries which are capable of converting chemical energy into electrical energy. And such cells are used on large scale in large number of instruments and also in devices. ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು, ಸೊ ವಾಚಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಸೊ ಕ್ಲಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು, ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟರ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು. ಸೊ ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಏನು ಡ್ರೈ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಬರ್ತಾವಲ್ಲ, ಸೊ ಆ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಬ್ಯಾಟರೀಸ್. So it is a device which is used or which is capable of converting chemical energy into electrical energy. It's clear? So that is called a cell or a battery. So here, what is meant by electrochemical cell? Production or consumption of electricity through chemical reactions is done in case of cells called electrochemical cells. So cells which are capable of converting chemical energy into electrical energy. So here, in case of electrochemical cells, there are two types. So one is galvanic cell and other one is electrolytic cell. Galvanic cell and electrolytic cell. So what is meant by galvanic cell? So the device or a cell which is used to convert chemical energy into electrical energy. One more calculator, what are galvanic cells? The cells which can be used to supply electrical energy at the cost of chemical reactions, which means that the device which is capable of converting chemical energy into electrical energy, such type of cells are called galvanic cells or voltaic cells. Then the second point is it involves spontaneous redox reactions. So it involves spontaneous redox reactions. It involves spontaneous redox reactions. So next ಬರ್ತಿರಲಿ. So what is meant by redox reaction? Detail ಹೇಳೋಣ. So these are very important points regarding galvanic cell. So what are galvanic cell? It is an electrochemical cell in which chemical energy is converted into electrical energy. Or in other words, galvanic cell is a device or a cell which can be used to supply electrical energy by means of chemical reactions, or in other words, the device which is used to convert chemical energy into electrical energy. And this galvanic cells, it involves the spontaneous redox reactions. But in case of electrolytic cells, so the device which is used to convert electrical energy into chemical energy is reversed it. So what is the difference between electrolytic cells and galvanic cells? In galvanic cells, chemical energy is converted into electrical energy, but in case of electrolytic cells, electrical energy is converted into chemical energy. Then the electrolytic cells which involves non-spontaneous redox reactions, non-spontaneous redox reactions. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತದೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ನೋಡಿ, ಸ್ಪಾಂಟೇನಿಯಸ್. ಈಗ ಒಂದು ಸೆಲ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ನೀವೇನು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರೋಲೈಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಮುಂದೆ ಡೀಟೇಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೇನೆ. ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ, ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕಲ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಆಗಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ರಿಯೇಜೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಆ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ರಿಯೇಜೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಏನಿದೆ, ಆ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿಯನ್ನು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕಲ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಗ್ಯಾಲ್ವಾನಿಕ್ ಸೆಲ್. ಬಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ electrical energy is converted into chemical energy. So in the extractions of metals from their ores in the pure state by electrometallurgy, ಈಗ ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಓರ್ ಇದೆ, ಸೊ ಆ ಓರನ್ನ ಮೋಲ್ಟನ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಓರನ್ನ ತಗೊಂಡು ನಾವು ಆ ಓರಿಂದ ಪ್ಯೂರ್ ಮೆಟಲ್ ಅನ್ನು ಪಡಿಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕಲ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಸಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಇಫ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಸೋಡಿಯಂ ಕ್ಲೋರೈಡ್, ರಾಕ್ ಸಾಲ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ, ಸೊ ಮೋಲ್ಟನ್ ಸೋಡಿಯಂ ಕ್ಲೋರೈಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 2 ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರೋಡ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಡಿಪ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕಲ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಸಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ನಿಮಗೆ ಸೋಡಿಯಂ ಮೆಟಲ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಕ್ಲೋರಿನ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಲಿಬರೇಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೋಡಿಯಂ ಮೆಟಲ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಕ್ಲೋರಿನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸೊ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ಕಾಂಪೌಂಡ್ಸ್, ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕಲ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿಯನ್ನು ಸಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಮಾತ್ರ ನಿಮಗೆ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ದ ಡಿವೈಸ್ which can be used to supply chemical energy by utilizing electrical energy or electrolytic cell, it is a electrochemical cell which involves the conversion of electrical energy into chemical energy. But in case of galvanic cells, the electrochemical cell in which chemical energy is converted into electrical energy. Very important point, confuse ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಡ್ರಿ. So what are electrochemical cells? So look at this definition. ನೋಡಿ, production or consumption. Production of electricity, ಎಲ್ಲೇ in case of galvanic cell. Production of electricity by means of chemical reactions, which means that chemical energy is converted into electrical energy. That is galvanic cell. And then consumption of electricity. In case of electrolytic cells, electrical energy is supplied to the molten electrolytes. We get chemical substances, which means that electrical energy is converted into chemical energy. So that is why, so what are electrochemical cells? The production or consumption of electricity through chemical reactions is done in cells. They are called electrochemical cells. Electrochemical cells are of 2 types. Is it clear? So one is galvanic cell and other one is electrolytic cell. So what is meant by galvanic cell? The electrochemical cell which is used to supply electrical energy by means of chemical reactions, or in other words, the device which can be used to supply electrical energy at the cost of chemical reactions. So that is called galvanic cell. So what is meant by electrolytic cell? The electrochemical cell in which electrical energy is converted into chemical energy, or a device which is used to convert electrical energy into chemical energy. So in case of galvanic cells, spontaneous redox reactions occurs, but in case of electrolytic cells, non-spontaneous redox reactions occurs. Non-spontaneous, the process which occurs with the help of external agent ಯಾವುದು? electrical energy. ಇಲ್ಲಿ external agent ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, spontaneous which occurs on its own, ತಂತಾನಾಗಿ ನಡೀತದೆ. ಸೊ ಸ್ವಯಂ ಪ್ರೇರಿತ ತಂತಾನಾಗಿ ನಡೆದಾಗ ಏನು ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಲಿಬರೇಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, such an amount of energy can be converted into electrical energy. So that is why galvanic cell involves spontaneous redox reaction and electrolytic cells involves non-spontaneous redox reactions. Is clear? Then coming to what is meant by a redox reaction. So what is meant by redox reaction? ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ redox reaction ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? Before that, what is the electronic aspects of redox reactions? Electronic aspects of redox reactions. Electronic aspects of redox reactions. So we know that reduction and oxidation. So electronic aspects of redox reaction. So we know that oxidation is a process in which electrons are lost. Oxidation is a process in which oxidation number increases. Oxidation is a process in which the oxidation number increases. Oxidation is a process in which oxygen is consumed. Oxidation is a process in which H2 is lost. H2 is lost. Similarly, so what is meant by reduction? General ಗೊತ್ತಿರತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ನಿಮಗೆ addition of oxygen. ನೋಡಿ, oxygen is consumed in a chemical reaction, that is called oxidation. Addition of oxygen is oxidation. Loss of hydrogen is oxidation. Loss of electrons in a process is oxidation. So a process in which the oxidation number increases, that is also called oxidation. Oxidation ಅಂತ ತಕ್ಷಣ 4 ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು ನಿಮಗೆ. So what is meant by oxidation? It is a process in which electrons are lost. It is a process in which the oxidation number of a particular element in a reaction increases. It is a process in which addition of oxygen takes place. It is a process in which loss of hydrogen takes place. Similarly, what is meant by reduction reaction? So this is about oxidation. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ reverse. Reduction is a process in which electrons are gained. Reduction is a process in which electrons are gained. Reduction is a process in which oxidation number decreases. A process in which oxidation number decreases. Then it is a process in which hydrogen is consumed. Hydrogen is consumed. Or in other words, addition of hydrogen, organical health now. Addition of oxygen is oxidation. Addition of hydrogen is reduction. Loss of hydrogen is oxidation. Loss of oxygen is reduction. So loss of oxygen is reduction. No, loss of hydrogen is oxidation. Loss of oxygen is reduction. A chemical reaction which involves both oxidation and reduction simultaneously, then that is called redox reaction. A chemical process or a reaction which involves the simultaneous oxidation and reduction reaction, then such type of reactions are called redox reactions. So here, what is meant by the oxidation and reduction reactions according to the electronic aspects? So what is meant by oxidation? So oxidation is a process. Oxidation, it is a process which loses one or more electrons. A process in which one or more electrons are lost by the substance, then that is called oxidation. Oxidation is a process in which the chemical substance oxidation is loss of electrons. That is right. It is just a process in which the substance loses one or more number of electrons. That is called oxidation. Similarly, reduction. So it is also a process in which chemical substance gains one or more number of electrons. That is called reduction. So this is purely based on the electronic aspects. Oxidation is a process in which electrons are lost. So what is meant by an oxidation process according to the electronic theory? Oxidation is a process in which the chemical substance which loses one or more electrons, then such a process is called oxidation, or it is also called de-electronation. De-electronation means de means to removal of electrons. Similarly, reduction is electronation process. Electronation. So what is meant by reduction? Reduction is a process in which the chemical substance gains one or more number of electrons. It is also called electronation process or reduction, oxidation or de-electronation. So these are very two important points. So what is meant by oxidation? ನಮಗೆ ಈ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು according to the electronic aspects of redox reaction. A chemical reaction which involves both oxidation and reduction reactions simultaneously, then such type of reactions are called redox reactions. Is clear? ಇಲ್ಲಿ oxidation reduction. ಇದು oxidizing agent and reducing agent ಆಮೇಲೆ ಬರೋಣಂತದ್ದು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ನೋಡೋಣ. Is it clear? Oxidation is a process in which electrons are lost. Oxidation is a process in which a particular element, it increases their oxidation number. Oxidation is a process in which oxygen is consumed. Oxidation is a process in which hydrogen is lost. Similarly, reduction, it is a process in which electrons are gained. Reduction is a process in which a particular element in a reaction, their oxidation number decreases. Reduction is a process in which hydrogen is consumed. Reduction is a process in which oxygen is lost. ಈ 4 ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಗೊತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗಿ ನಿಮಗೆ. ಇವೆರಡು ಯೂಶಲಿ ನಾವು ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಇನ್ನ ಇವೆರಡು ನಿಮಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತದೆ ರೆಡಾಕ್ಸ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ಅಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಟು ದಿ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ ಆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ರೆಡಾಕ್ಸ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್, oxidation is a process in which the chemical substance which loses one or more number of electrons. ನೋಡಿ, ಯಾವ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಲಾಸ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೋ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೇಷನ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ meant by reduction process? It is a process in which the chemical substance which gains one or more number of electrons, that is called reduction, or it is also called electronation reaction. Electronation process or electronation reaction. Then, so what are the examples for redox reaction? So in case of redox reaction, oxidation and reduction reactions occurs simultaneously. ನೋಡಿ, ಒಂದೇ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಎರಡೂ ನಡೀತದೆ. ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೇಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ರಿಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೇಷನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ರಿಡಕ್ಷನ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ simultaneously occurs in a chemical reaction, then such type of reactions are called redox reactions. So for example, if you take hydrogen sulfide, H2S, it is a good reducing agent. Hydrogen sulfide is a good reducing agent. So which undergoes oxidation. So therefore, ferric chloride, FeCl3. So which undergoes oxidation, but here it undergoes reduction. So hydrogen sulfide is a good reducing agent which reduces ferric chloride to ferrous chloride, FeCl2, and hydrogen sulfide itself undergoes, ನೋಡಿ ಅಗರ್ ಇದು ರೆಡ್ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಏಜೆಂಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದನ್ನು ರೆಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಬಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಗೋಸ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೇಷನ್ ಟು ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಸಲ್ಫರ್ and along with HCl. So here 2FeCl2, 2FeCl3, 2 into 3, 6 chlorine atoms are on the left side. So therefore here 4 chlorine atoms, 2 chlorine atoms, totally 6, hydrogen 2, here also hydrogen atoms 2 and sulfur 1. So in this reaction, hydrogen sulfide is a reducing agent, ferric chloride is an oxidizing agent. E reaction. Then oxidation state of sulfur in hydrogen sulfide is -2. What is the oxidation number of hydrogen in all compounds? In all compounds except in case of hydrates, metallic hydrides, the oxidation number of hydrogen is +1. ಎರಡು hydrogen atoms in the +2 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇದು -2 ಆಗಲೇಬೇಕು. Because sum of the oxidation numbers in case of neutral compounds is equal to 0. Is clear? So ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ 2 ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಇರಲೇಬೇಕು. So this is the oxidation number of sulfur in hydrogen sulfide. So in this case it is 0. So hydrogen sulfide, it is changed to sulfur. ನೋಡಿ S-2. If it loses 2 electrons and converted into sulfur, oxidation state of any uncombined state of an element or a free element is 0. Oxidation state of any free element is 0. So it loses 2 electrons. So loss of electron is oxidation. So 2 electrons are lost. 2 electrons are lost. Hydrogen sulfide, which reduces ferric chloride to ferrous chloride. This is ferric chloride. This is ferrous chloride. Ferrous chloride. Then, in this case, the oxidation state of iron is +3. +3. So, because you know that halogen, oxidation state of each halogen atom is -1. There are 3 halogen atoms, -3. So, total sum of the oxidation numbers in case of neutral compounds is equal to 0. So, therefore, ಇಲ್ಲಿ -3 total ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ +3 ಇರಲೇಬೇಕು. Then in this case -2, here +2. So, number of electrons gained is, so here +3 state is changed to +2. So, 1 electron is gained, but for 2 iron atoms, totally 2 electrons are gained. So 2 into 1 electron gained. So it is a reduction reaction. Reduction reaction. So this reaction is an example for redox reaction because hydrogen sulfide is oxidized to sulfur. Hydrogen sulfide is oxidized, loss of electrons. This process is oxidation. And ferric chloride is reduced to ferrous chloride. The oxidation number decreases. A process in which the oxidation number decreases, that is called reduction. A process in which the oxidation number increases, -2 to 0 means oxidation number increases, that is oxidation. Or in other words, so in the conversion of hydrogen sulfide to sulfur, 2 electrons are lost. This reaction is oxidation. In the conversion of ferric chloride to ferrous chloride, so 2 electrons are lost, 2 electrons are gained because iron in +3 state, ferric iron is converted into ferrous iron. Ferric, ik anta bandaga oxidation number ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂತದ್ದು, as anta bandre oxidation number ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂತದ್ದು. So ferric iron is converted into ferrous iron, or ferric chloride is reduced to ferrous chloride by gaining 2 electrons because 2 moles are involved. Is clear? So this reaction, it involves both oxidation and reduction. So net reaction, net balance chemical reaction, neither loss of electrons nor gaining of electrons. So therefore it is a neutral reaction. It is a neutral reaction. No, neutral ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ total number of electrons lost is equal to the total number of electrons are gained. So in this reaction it becomes neutral. No electrons are lost, no electrons are gained, neither lost nor gained. So the reaction which involves both oxidation and reduction, then such type of reactions are called redox reactions. Redox reactions. Is clear? ನೋಡಿ ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ redox reactions ಅಂದಾಗ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದಲ್ಲೇ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರೋಲೈಟಿಕ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಹೇಳಿದೆ ನಾನು, ನಾನ್ ಸ್ಪಾಂಟೇನಿಯಸ್ ರೆಡಾಕ್ಸ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದೆ. ಗ್ಯಾಲ್ವಾನಿಕ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಾಗ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಸ್ಪಾಂಟೇನಿಯಸ್ ರೆಡಾಕ್ಸ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್. ಸರ್ ಎರಡೂ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಬೋತ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೇಷನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ರಿಡಕ್ಷನ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ಸ್. ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ರೆಡಾಕ್ಸ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್. ದೆನ್ ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಸಲ್ಫೈಡ್ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ, 2 ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಸಲ್ಫರ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿರುತ್ತೋ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಎ ರೆಡ್ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಏಜೆಂಟ್. ನೋಡಿ, ದ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಗೋಸ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೇಷನ್. ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಸಲ್ಫೈಡ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೈಸ್ ಟು ಸಲ್ಫರ್. Substance which undergoes oxidation, the substance which undergoes oxidation, it is called reducing agent. Reducing agent. A substance which undergoes, not a substance which undergoes oxidation. Suppose if the substance which undergoes reduction. So what is meant by reduction? A process in which electrons are gained. ನೋಡಿ, ಈ process reduction process. ಯಾವ್ದು ರಿಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗಿದೆ? ಫೆರಿಕ್ ಕ್ಲೋರೈಡ್. ಯಾವ್ದು ರಿಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೋ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ an oxidizing agent. Oxidizing agent is a substance which gains electrons. So the substance which undergoes reduction is oxidizing agent. So this substance is oxidizing agent. Oxidizing agent. ನೋಡಿ, ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ ನಿಮಗೆ. Reducing agent is a substance which loses the electrons. A process in which electrons are lost is oxidation, or in other words, in general, simple way ನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ reducing agent is a substance which undergoes oxidation. Oxidizing agent is a substance which undergoes reduction. ಮತ್ತೆ ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೇಷನ್ ಆಗಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಲಾಸ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು, ರಿಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಗೇನ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೈಸಿಂಗ್ ಏಜೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ರಿಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತವೆ, ಎಲ್ಲಾ ರಿಡ್ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಏಜೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೇಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತವೆ. ಇಸ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ರಿಡ್ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಏಜೆಂಟ್ ವಿಚ್ ರಿಡ್ಯೂಸಸ್ ದಿ ಅದರ್ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಬಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಗೋಸ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೇಷನ್. ನೋಡಿ, hydrogen sulfide, it is a good reducing agent which reduces ferric chloride to ferrous chloride, but itself undergoes oxidation giving sulfur. And ferric chloride is a good reducing agent in this reaction, but it undergoes reduction. It undergoes reduction. So this which oxidizes ferric chloride, which oxidizes hydrogen sulfide to sulfur, but itself undergoes reduction. ಇದು ಬೇರೆದನ್ನ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಆದರೆ ಇದು ರಿಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. All oxidizing agents are reduced and all reducing agents are oxidized. Is clear? So this is very very important. And another example is, so ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ. So according to the electronic concept, electronic aspects of redox reaction, oxidation is a process in which electrons are lost. It is a process, or a process in which a chemical substance which gains one or more number of electrons, that is called, the substance is called oxidizing agent, but the process is reduction. Oxidizing agent electrons ಅನ್ನು ಪಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ರಿಡಕ್ಷನ್ process, but oxidation process ಅಂದಾಗ the electrons are lost. Oxidation is a process, but oxidizing agent is a substance. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ನೋಡಿ. So I will give one more example. Zinc, it reacts with copper ion to form Zn+2 plus Cu. ನೀವು ಜಿಂಕ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕಾಪರ್ ಸಲ್ಫೇಟ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡಿಸಿ ಈ ತರ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ನೋಡ್ರಿ. ಸೊ ಜಿಂಕ್ ವಿತ್ ಕಾಪರ್ ಸಲ್ಫೇಟ್, zinc can displaces copper from copper sulfate to form copper and ZnSO4, zinc sulfate. Zinc is converted into zinc sulfate. Copper sulfate is converted into copper. So in zinc sulfate in copper sulfate oxidation state of copper is +2. In zinc sulfate oxidation state of zinc is +2. Is clear? In this reaction, oxidation state of zinc is 0, but here +2. So 0 to +2, oxidation, loss of 2 electrons. Loss of 2 electrons. So copper ion, oxidation state of copper is +2. So here it is 0. If it gains 2 electrons and it is converted into copper, so the process which involves the gaining of electrons, this is called reduction reaction. Gaining of 2 electrons. This is reduction reaction. Total loss of electrons is 2, total gaining of electrons is 2, so that net reaction is neutral. No loss and no gain, neither loss of electrons nor gaining of electrons. Therefore, it is an example for a redox reaction. Redox reaction which involves both oxidation and reduction simultaneously. So in this reaction, zinc undergoes oxidation. Therefore, it is a good reducing agent. No, observe. Oxidation, it is a process in which electrons are lost. Oxidation is a process in which electrons are lost. Oxidizing agent, it is a substance which gains electrons. Nodile confuse ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಡಿ. Oxidation is a process, oxidizing agent is a substance. So oxidizing agent is a substance which gains electrons. The process which involves the gaining of electrons, it is reduction. The substance which undergoes reduction is called oxidizing agent. Similarly, reduction. So copper ion is reduced to copper. So copper ion gains 2 electrons. It is an oxidizing agent. Oxidizing agent is copper ion. So oxidizing agent is a substance which gains electrons. But this is conversion of Cu +2 to Cu is reduction. It is a process. Similarly, reduction, it is a process in which electrons are gained. ಯಾವ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಗೈನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೋ ಆ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ರಿಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್. ದೆನ್ ರಿಡ್ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಏಜೆಂಟ್ is a substance. It is a substance which loses one or more number of electrons. Oxidizing agent is a substance which gains one or more number of electrons. ನೋಡಿ, ಎರಡು ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಡ್ರಿ. ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೇಷನ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್, ರಿಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್. ಬಟ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೈಸಿಂಗ್ ಏಜೆಂಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್, ರೆಡ್ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಏಜೆಂಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಎ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್. Oxidizing agent is a substance which gains one or more electrons. Reducing agent is a substance which loses one or more number of electrons. Is clear? ಇಷ್ಟು ನಿಮಗೆ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಗೊತ್ತಾದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನು ಮುಂದೆ ನಾವು ಸೆಲ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಹೇಳುವಾಗ ಬಹಳ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ meant by redox reaction? Reactions which involves simultaneously both oxidation and reduction process, then such type of reactions are called redox reactions. Redox reactions involving both oxidation and reduction. Is it clear? So what is meant by oxidation? Oxidation is a process in which electrons are lost. This is according to electronic aspects of redox reactions. Oxidation is a process in which electrons are lost. Similarly, reduction is a process in which electrons are gained. Then reducing agent, it is a substance which loses one or more number of electrons. Oxidizing agent is a substance which gains one or more number of electrons. ಈಗ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ, ಈಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಡೈಲಿ ಲೈಫಲ್ಲಿ ಐರನ್ ರಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ರಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ಐರನ್ ತುಕ್ಕಿಡಿತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಈ ರಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ಐರನ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೇಷನ್. ಇಸ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ಬರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್, ಬರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ಸಲ್ಫರ್, burning of phosphorus, and also fading of colors of our clothes, fading of colors. ಸೊ ನಾವು ಹಾಕೊಳ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಬಟ್ಟೆ ಕ್ರಮೇಣವಾಗಿ ಕಲರ್ನ ಕಳ್ಕೊಳ್ತವೆ. These are all the examples for oxidation process. ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ? Rusting of iron, combustion of carbon, combustion of sulfur, combustion of phosphorus, fading of colors of our clothes. These are the examples for oxidation reactions. In a reduction process ಬಂದಾಗ ನೋಡಿ, ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿ, reduction process ಅಂದಾಗ in the extraction of metals from their ores in the pure state, particularly in case of electrometallurgy. ಪ್ಯೂರ್ ಓರ್ ಅನ್ನ ತಗೊಂಡು ಅದರಿಂದ ನಾವು ಮೆಟಲ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಏನು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎನ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ಎ ರಿಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್. ಜನರೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಎನ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಸಿಟಿ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಬ್ಯಾಟರೀಸ್ ನೋಡಿ, ಗ್ಯಾಲ್ವಾನಿಕ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೀತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ರಿಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್. ಸೊ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಸಿಟಿ ಸೊ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಬ್ಯಾಟರೀಸ್ or from chemical cells or from chemical energy is converted into electrical energy, production of electricity. That is also an example for reduction process. Is it clear? And also removal of stain from our cloth. ಸೊ ನಮ್ಮ ಕ್ಲಾತ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಏನಾದರೂ ಒಂದು ಕಲರ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ರಿಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ರಿಮೂವಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಟೈನ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ರಿಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್. ರಿಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್. ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ಸೊ ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ದಿ examples for oxidation and reduction reactions. Is clear? So it's very very important points. Then another one is conductors. ಈಗ ನಮಗೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಬರೋಣ. ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಫಿಸಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಡೀಟೇಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಕಲ್ತಿದ್ರಿ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಮೆಟಲ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ನಾವು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರೋಲೈಟ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ತಗೊಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಮೆಂಟ್ ಬೈ ಎ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್? ನೋಡಿ, conductor. So what is meant by a conductor? So usually ಹೇಳ್ತೀರೇನು, the substance which is used or the substance which allows the flow of electric current through it. Substance which allows flow of electric current through it, that is called a conductor. The substance which allows the flow of electric current through it. Electric current ಅಂತ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಹೇಳ್ತೇನು, it involves the movement of electrons. Next later ಬರೋಣ. What are the examples for conductors? So if you consider a metals like silver, copper, aluminium, Is clear? So these are called the metallic conductors. Metallic conductor. And other examples: sodium chloride, HCl, H2SO4, NaOH. So in its aqueous solutions, these are called electrolytic conductors. Electrolytic conductor. ನೋಡಿ, ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ ಅಂದಾಗ ಯೂಶಲಿ ಮೆಟಲ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀರಿ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರೋಲೈಟ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರೋಲೈಟ್ಸ್. ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದೆ, ದಿಸ್ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಡೀಲ್ಸ್ ವಿತ್ ಬಿಹೇವಿಯರ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರೋಲೈಟ್ಸ್. ಎನಿ ಆಸಿಡ್, ಎನಿ ಬೇಸ್ or any water soluble salts, these are the examples for electrolytes. Is clear? So these substances which allows the flow of electric current through it, and these substances are also allows the flow of electric current through it. So therefore, these substances are called conductors. But these are called metallic conductors, and these substances are called electrolytic conductors. So generally, conductors which allows the flow of electric current through it, so that is conductor. It may be either metallic conductor or electrolytic conductor. So conductors are of two types: electrolytic conductors and metallic conductors. Electrolytic and metallic conductors. Is clear? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕಗೊಳ್ರಿ. metallic conductors and electrolytic conductors. Conductor is a substance which allows the flow of electric current through it. But in case of metals, so conductivity is due to the movement of electrons. So movement of electrons. Metallic conductor which involves or which conducts electric current by the movement of electrons. By the movement of electrons, that is also called electronic conductor or metallic conductor. But in case of electrolytes, conductivity, in case of electrolytes, it is due to the movement of ions. In case of electrolytes, ions are responsible for the passage of electric current. That is purely comes under the Faraday's laws. Is clear? ನೋಡಿ, ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿರಲಿ, ಈ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈಗೇನಪ್ಪ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಫ್ಲೋ ಆಫ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಅಂತೀರಿ. Flow of charge is nothing but the movement of electrons from anode to cathode. Is clear? Movement of electrons from anode to cathode. So that is why the current from in that opposite direction, cathode to anode. So because cathode has higher potential value than anode, so that is why electric current always flows from cathode to anode in a cell. But electron movement takes place from anode to cathode. Because at anode electrons are lost. So what is meant by oxidation? Oxidation is a process in which electrons are lost. At anode, oxidation reaction takes place. That is why the electrons are lost, so that the electrons are entering into anode. So through an external wire, the electrons are moved towards the cathode. So adana detail ಆಗಿ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೇನೆ ನಾನು next class ಅಲ್ಲಿ. Is clear? So there are two types of conductors: electrolytic conductors and metallic conductors. Metallic conductors are also called electronic conductors. So here this is electrolytic conductor. So in case of metallic conductors, conductivity is due to the movement of free electrons or mobile or valence electrons. But in case of electrolytic conduction, so conductivity is due to the movement of ions. That can be observed in case of electrolytes. Movement of electrons can be observed in case of metals. Then what are the major differences between metallic conductors and electrolytic conductors? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ ಇದಾವೆ. ಸೊ ಇದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮೊದಲು ಒಂದು ಫ್ಯಾರಡೇಸ್ ಲಾಸ್ಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರೋಲೈಸಿಸ್ ಫಿನಾಮಿನನ್ನ ಹೇಳ್ತೇನೆ. ಆ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರೋಲೈಸಿಸ್ ಫಿನಾಮಿನನ್ನ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರೋಲೈಟಿಕ್ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ಗೆ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಮೆಟಾಲಿಕ್ ಕಂಡಕ್ಷನ್ಲಿ ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಮೆಟಲ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಒಂದು ವೈರ್ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ನಾನು ಸರ್ಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಸರ್ಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಒಂದು ಬಲ್ಬ್ ಅನ್ನು ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಬಲ್ಬ್ ಆನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಮೆಟಲ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದೆ, ದಟ್ ಅಲೋಸ್ ದಿ ಫ್ಲೋ ಆಫ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಥ್ರೂ ಇಟ್. ಹಾಗೆಯೇ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರೋಲೈಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ ಕೂಡ ಇಟ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಸಿಟಿ. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಡ್ಯೂ ಟು ದಿ ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಯಾನ್ಸ್. Is clear? So next class, so what are the difference between metallic conductors and electrolytic conductors. This is very very important. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಆದರೆ ಮುಂದೆ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಹೇಳುವಾಗ ಡೀಟೇಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ ನಿಮಗೆ. ಸೊ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಸ್ಪಾಂಟೇನಿಯಸ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ which occurs on its own. So spontaneous reaction which occurs by itself. ಅಗರ ತಂತಾನಾಗಿ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ದಾಗ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಇಸ್ ರಿಲೀಸ್ಡ್. ಅಗರ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಎನರ್ಜಿಯನ್ನ that can be converted into electrical energy in case of electrochemistry. So that is why the production of electricity from energy released during spontaneous chemical reactions and also the use of electrical energy to carry out non-spontaneous chemical transformations. So that is why the chemical change involves either the production or consumption of electricity, that is called electrochemical change. Electrochemical change, very important. Production or consumption of electricity that involves a chemical change. That involves a chemical change. That is called electrochemical change. And also the production or consumption of electricity through chemical reactions that can be done in case of cells, they are called electrochemical cells. So our consumption and production ಎರಡು ಇದೆ. Agar production of electricity and consumption of electricity. Production of electricity, galvanic cells. Consumption of electricity, electrolytic cells. Electrolytic cells. So electrochemical cells are of two types. Electrolytic cells and galvanic cells. In galvanic cells, chemical energy is converted into electrical energy. So in electrolytic cells, electrical energy is converted into chemical energy. Is clear? Then redox reactions, a process in which electrons are lost, a process in which a particular element which increases its oxidation number, the process which involves addition of oxygen, the process which involves the loss of hydrogen. These are all oxidation process. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡ್ರಿ. ರಿಡಕ್ಷನ್, it is a process in which electrons are gained. Electrons gained means oxidation number decreases. A process in which the addition of hydrogen takes place. The process in which loss of oxygen takes place. But according to the electronic aspects of redox reactions, oxidation is a process in which electrons are lost. Reduction is a process in which electrons are gained. Oxidation and reduction, they are the two processes. But oxidizing agent and reducing agent, these are the two chemical substances. So oxidizing agent is a substance which gains one or more electrons. Reducing agent is a substance which loses one or more electrons. Is clear? So isto ivattina concept. So now next class alli, so what are the important difference between metallic conductors and electrolytic conductors. Next class alna. Thank you. Serious ಆಗಿ ಓದ್ರಿ. ಸೊ ಯಾವುದೇ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕೂ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಯಾವಾಗ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ತಲೆ ಕೆಡಿಸ್ಕೊಬಿಡ್ರಿ. ಸೊ ಸರಿ, ಇನ್ನೇನು ಹತ್ತಿರದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ, ಕಾಲೇಜಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಲಕ್ಷಣಗಳು ತುಂಬ ಇದ್ದಾವೆ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನೀವು ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ಯಾವ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ಸನ್ನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ಸನ್ನು ಅಂದರೆ ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಎಲ್ಲ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ಸನ್ನು ನೀವು ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ 2 to 3 ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ನೀವು ರಿವಿಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಿರಲೇಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನು ಸೀರಿಯಸ್ ಆಗಿ ತಗೊಳ್ರಿ. ಯಾವುದೇ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕೂ ನೀವು ಇದನ್ನು ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಡ್ರಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ. Okay, so I will continue in the next class.